I'm down in the town and I see this woman in front of me, and she's got that very same black hair that Clarice did, so I shout, "Clarice!" and nothing happens. Well, I thought, and I'm just reaching out to touch her shoulder and go, because we always used to do that sort of thing. She's got this big hat on, and Clarice used to wear. Anyway, I suddenly stop and I think, well, no, that was 20 years ago. Her hair isn't like that now. She doesn't still wear those hats. So anyway, it's oral, isn't it? It's oral. You take the oral stuff and you stick it in the written, and you feel it's intimate, and we're all here on sofas, and yes, we're in there, but look, there's someone talking to me. And it doesn't have to be first person, it's third person as well, isn't it? And you're in there with it. And you can do it with Brindley's story as well. There's a cultural thing as well. Do we feel comfortable in the present tense? Are we kind of in the zone of all this new texty thing? And I'm not. But it's a choice, isn't it? It's a choice. It's a choice, and writers make choices. So anyway, I've got this character Ray. I used to teach this girl, and she defecated all over the school. I hadn't intended to tell you that, actually. But she was, you know, there were lots of things happening in her life, and that was something that should never have happened, but it did. And also, she had this in-the-moment capacity, which some kids do, don't they? She like somebody who maybe is in an imprisoned situation, who's constrained in some way, whose world is foreshortened, gets kind of very much in the present, or maybe that's the way we want to express it. And it doesn't have to be done that way. Ben Ockrey and his child narrator is seeing spirits. And when we parted from the crowd that was busily generating her myth, Dad led us through the bush paths and into the forest. I walked in a drunken haze beside him. We passed a tree whose lower branches were covered with yellow dresses, a black cat following us from a distance. It was dark in the forest till we got to a clearing. In the middle of the clearing, a solitary wooden pole had been stuck into the earth. And yes, we can be there, and we can be in the mind of the child, and it can be past tense. So, and Gunter Grass's character in The Tin Drum, it's past tense. It doesn't have to be a child's point of view, or a constrained point of view, or an in the now. My character is tomorrow in Hartlepool after it's been flooded, and there's a kind of nowness about that, because we don't know where we're going, because nothing is the same as it ever was before. And so, oh gosh, I had more books. And you know, Oryx and Crake, you can set it in the future, and Margaret Atwood moves back and forwards between present and past there, but there's definitely, Snowman has a present voice. He's present in this future time that we don't know, and we kind of feel it there because we get access to this person who lives in a time that we've never experienced. And there is something more to do with access there, and getting in there with that character and feeling it. And of course, a character who's died, I mean, Xenia turns up in The Robber Bride. Margaret Atwood loves it, and she does it in Alias Grace as well, because Grace is in prison, and you know, it seems to be the right thing to do. The door opens and Xenia is standing there. Charis goes cold all over, then takes a breath. She's ready. She's been readying herself through lunch at the Toxique. Is the last place she would have expected this manifestation, this return. She's angry though. A dark aura swirls out from around her, like the corona of the sun in eclipse, only negative. A corona of darkness rather than of light. It's a turbulent, muddy green, shot through with lines of blood red and greyish black, the worst, the most destructive colours, a deadly aureole, a visible infection. Yeah. Denia has chosen the ground well for this encounter. Back from the dead, you're in all time, any time. It's that habitual use of the present tense, and after all, the present tense and the past tense are not tied to time. Tense is not time, and we can express past time in novel, in narrative, in histories, through the past tense or the present tense. We can express the present tense, as we've just said, with McKee and the Piper. We can be there in that past, seeing it, being it, experiencing. So it's a choice, isn't it? And the writer's got that choice. And McEwan's Saturday, yes, it all happened on one day. Crush it in. It all happened there, now. And the Kite Runner, no. And Faulkner, I've got more that didn't, but I had loads of books and I've sort of chucked them around and done things with them. So that's it. That's what I wanted to say.